everything to us, and we appreciate the love. Now that we've gotten our formalities out of the way, let's get into our the way or not the way this week. All right, so I've got a couple things that I want to talk about. I know Shantaé does as well. We briefly talked about this the other day, and I know that we've got a lot to discuss. So I'm gonna start with my positive notes, because of course, as always, there's negative things going on. But my positive, or my the way this week, is I'm starting to hit therapy hard again, but I'm going through talk space. So I've been out of there about consistent therapy now for at least 6-7 months at this point. And I'm just realizing that, it was really helping me. I've been able to use some of the tools that I was given by my previous therapist, but having a licensed professional there to help you use those tools at the same time means so much more than just being able to try and fuddle through it myself. So I start that I have 2 sessions this month, and then we're going to evaluate from there to see kind of like, how often I might need to go. But I'm excited. A female therapist who is local, and she does specialize in the kind of things that I've been struggling with. So that's going to be my the way. And then as far as my not the way, everyone's been talking about it, and everyone seems to be on the same page as me in agreeing that this is not the way. But the Travis Scott Astroworld Fest debacle, just a horrible tragedy. That is just so many things went wrong leading up to it. And there's more and more stuff finding out that is coming out, and then we're finding out that led to ultimately the 8 people that ended up passing away attending his concert. The youngest victim, as young as like 14. And there's another young man in a coma that's age 9. And they're saying that his symptoms and everything are just worsening. So, it's just, again, we've seen footage of people who were just like rushing the gates, to get in without tickets. We saw footage from earlier in the day where the spacing was getting really bad, when other artists were on stage. Just many factors obviously were at play here. And it just unfolded really, really unfortunately. And I feel, my heart and my thoughts and prayers go out to all the families, the victims, everything, everyone involved. And I really do hope that, I know Travis Scott is in a really weird position right now, but I really do hope that he is genuine in how he continues to move and handle this situation. That's really, I think, all that he can really do is be genuine in this, and be smart about how he chooses to continue to navigate this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's my not the way. Of course, stories developing, we might have more to talk about next week as things unfold, but there is, of course, like a lawsuit pending. I think both him and Drake have been named, and Live Nation have been named in it. So it's a developing story, but just all around really, really sad and tragic.
Well, it also hits home too, because there was a Western Washington student that
passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the victims.
Yeah, Axel Acosta was the student up there. So 21. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dang. Mm-hmm. That's really unfortunate.
It really is. Like I've never ever in my life gone to a concert and thought that I could die. Like,
I mean, I don't want to say that it's like in this way. I don't know that it's ever happened, but like people have died at concerts before, and always in like tragic ways. Like, I never go to a concert and think like this is the day, but like think Ariana Grande's concert with the bombing and the open shooter at the Las Vegas concert. And then like I've heard of so many concerts, like there's a concert that happens at the Gorge every year. It's like a rave.
I know what you're talking about.
Kids like OD all the time.
Yeah. What the heck? Why can't I think about it? But I know exactly what you're talking about.
I keep thinking Watershed, but it's not Watershed.
Because Watershed's the country.
It's the country one.
Yeah, it's the country one.
Is it EDC? I don't know. But it's something like that happens at the Gorge. And I remember when I was at college, there was a kid that a lot of the people that I hung around with knew that passed away at the concert from like recreational drug use. And
Base Canyon.
Yes.
It's Base Canyon.
And obviously that was more of like from his own doing. But it sucks to say that anything is possible. Like, anything is in the realm of possibility of happening, and it just really sucks that this happened because they all went to Astroworld. Like, Astroworld is something that if you're a Travis Scott fan, like, you would like love to go see, you know?
Yeah.
Love to be a part of. Just, it's like a kind of a community. It's like all of his biggest fans, they go to Astroworld and they have a really great time, really enjoy the music, and it's actually like a really great experience too, because, you know, he's got really great live sets, and just like the I would say like probably like the settings and stages are probably really cool to see as well.
It's a good performance. It's a really good performance.
Everything about it.
Yeah.
I saw him one time in person as an opener for Kanye, and he was an opener, and he came out on like this big flying phoenix type of thing. Like, you know, I was like, what? Who is this guy?
That was Kendrick Lamar. Right. That was Kendrick Lamar.
Yes, it was Kendrick. You're right. It was Kendrick. Yes.
And same, like I saw him also at Rihanna's anti-tour, and it was like same. He's always doing something where he's like coming in on something that's flying across the stage, and I'm like, who is this guy? Right. And Astroworld, because they like build it, it's always like, it almost looks like an amusement park that they built in the middle of, I don't know where, but like the city. And so it's like, it's just really sad that had to happen. And again, I agree with you. My heart goes out to all of the victims and their families. To transition, I'm gonna go into the way. So the city of Atlanta, or the mayor, Keisha Bottoms. I like to just say her name. It's childish.
Fun, isn't it fun though? It's fun. Like, your last name's really Bottoms.
Yeah, Keisha Bottoms. And I don't know why I think of like bikini bottoms, and I have to say bottoms with a lot of emphasis.
You have to.
Mayor Keisha Bottoms has officially declared that the city of Atlanta is in the green zone for COVID. I don't know what that means, but I think it's good since everything else is red.
I'm like, green generally means good. I don't know.
You know, like, explain, what does green zone mean? So like, are we no longer doing phases? Well, what it means.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, what it means is that they have now lifted the citywide mask mandate. So we've had a mask mandate for a while now, and at least since I've been here, everyone's had to wear a mask anywhere. They're now lifting that and saying that, you know, establishments can make up their own rules now, and if you want to have people wear masks, they can. If people want to wear masks, they can, but it's no longer like punishable, I guess.
Okay.
But she is saying, you know, please get vaccinated, and also anyone who is a city official or part of City of Atlanta facilities still has to wear a mask.
Makes sense. Okay.
I guess that's the way, you know, we are trending in a direction that is great. My only two comments is that A, I'll still be wearing my mask, and B, nobody was wearing masks to begin with. So
I was just gonna say, when I was out there, I feel
there's that.
Because we definitely went everywhere, and like, we were good about making sure we had our masks, but like, it seemed very optional at the time.
Oh yeah,
it definitely seemed very optional.
So Keisha Bottoms just said we were in the green zone, but Atlanta's been in the green zone the whole 2 years. So that's what's really
in their mind.
Right. Thanks for letting us know, Keisha. That's
right.
Where we've been.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I guess we were just ahead of the curve.
You know? So yes, that,
like, even she said it makes her anxious.
Oh, absolutely.
She said, she basically in that same message said, I also will be continuing to wear my mask.
Yeah, we're not playing with them. Also, I'm just like, think it's funny because most of the time when you hear about like COVID cases and all of this stuff, it's statewide, not really city. And I'm like, I'm sorry, where is the rest of the state at? Where's the rest of any of these people who come to visit Atlanta? Because I'm sorry, like I said, I'll still be wearing my mask. So thanks for that update, Keisha. Great. I guess, you know, I'm thankful that it's looking up, but no, ma'am.
hard pass.
And then my not the way is kind of in line with my the way. It's on the opposite spectrum. I had to come for your boy, Jasmine. Sorry, not sorry.
I do not know this man.
I'm sorry to this man. I do not know him.
I do not claim any negative energy.
So Aaron Rodgers, aka Mr. Discount Double Check, aka Green Bay's Golden Boy, is in hot water because he lied about being vaccinated. Oh, he didn't. Well, no. He lied about being vaccinated for COVID-19.
He lied by omission.
Straight up.
He neither confirmed nor denied.
No, what he did was say that at some point in his life he's been immunized for some things.
There.
But not for COVID-19. I was like, how vague of a response was that? Okay.
What really bothers me too is that I've always been like, I really like Aaron Rodgers. I really like him.
I feel like you said that the last time you were here.
That's what I mean. I'm like, I really do like him. And then literally this had to happen, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
And open mouth, insert foot.
Yeah. So I think I'm on this path still. I don't really care if you are not vaccinated. If you like it, I love it. Up to you. However, what I don't like, and I feel like it's kind of in line with like Kyrie Irving and all that. It's like with Kyrie Irving, I feel like the NBA has put out a rule. Everybody else who wants to play has followed it. If you're not going to get vaccinated, you know the consequences.
You can't be the one exception.
You're not an exception. They literally had a player who tried to have it, tried to have like a religious exemption, and they said, no, sir. So like, what makes you have no excuse? You're just like, I don't want to. Okay, sorry, that's not going to work. You're not playing. Get over it. Okay. With Aaron, they don't actually have a mandate within the NFL because they want to give the players and the staff that autonomy of their bodies. Okay, that's fine. However, for you to sit there and lie about it is dangerous, and it's reckless. Like, honestly, that's the worst part of this. It's the lie. It's not even really that you're unvaccinated. Who cares? Because they're testing them daily to make sure they don't have COVID. But you're unvaccinated because you want to be an independent thinker and have autonomy of what you put in your body. However, you still got COVID. So that's the first thing. Like, you still got sick. And while you're a healthy person, you're going to be fine. What about all the other people who may have been around you because they thought you were vaccinated because you lied?
And like, that's the part. That's
like,
you potentially put other people at risk, and that's what it comes down to, sir. Because people thought you were vaccinated, right. And we're all just hanging out, having a good old time.
Yeah, in the huddle when they're huddling up. Right. Less than 6 feet away. Right.
You guys, and so like now everyone who he's played against, or in the last week that he played against, that team's now exposed. Like, it just is a big domino trickle effect, and I'm like, I don't really care about you in and of yourself if you had been in your house doing nothing, Aaron Rodgers, but you've been playing.
Yeah.
And you have COVID. And so now what about all of your teammates?
So if I have anything to say, I'm blaming Shailene Woodley.
Period.
She'd have no business bothering this man and blowing up his life and honestly ruining him.
Like, that's really like, I was watching Trevor Noah. He kind of dissected it a little bit, and he went on Aaron Rodgers went on a podcast. I think it was Brandon McAfee.
No, Pat McAfee.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who even is that?
I mean, I just said the name wrong, so I
Pat McAfee has a pretty giant podcast show, and he has a good relationship with Aaron.
Clearly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. They didn't seem to chastise him. They were just trying to get his side of the story. Right. And what I gleaned from that was two things. A, he's taking medical advice from Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Which, since when is Joe Rogan a medical professional, physician, primary care physician, or anyone who we should be listening to about how we handle COVID? And then secondarily, he tried to quote MLK.
Right.
And I was like, sir, throw the whole interview away.
Get out of here.
Yeah, like, I don't want to hear anything else. So yeah.
Aaron,
also, Trevor Noah brought something else up that I thought was a really great point. But he said all of the people who are saying they don't want to get vaccinated are like, I'm not getting vaccinated because I'm not a sheeple. I'm an independent thinker. But have you realized that all these independent thinkers have the same talking points?
From the same person?
Right. I was like, that's very interesting. He's like, you didn't go out and do your own research and decide you didn't want to go get vaccinated. You took information from Joe Rogan about why you weren't going to go get vaccinated and then said, I'm an independent thinker and not a sheeple. And now he's calling himself a victim of woke culture. I'm just like, Aaron, you are digging a very, very deep hole. And I think you should just stop and just quarantine and get better, dog, you know,
right.
and do better going
That's really
forward.
all you needed to do was just
don't
be quiet.
Lie. Just don't lie.
Well, to add in the mix, we're playing Green Bay this weekend. So there's...
And we won't. And we will be winning because
right.
Aaron won't be playing and Russ is back.
He won't be playing.
No.
It's not official yet.
He won't be.
Oh, okay.
I won't allow it.
Oh. All right. Jazz
not
says
on my
Jazz
watch.
says you're not playing, Aaron, so you need to listen
city.
to her.
He needs to know that if he's coming to Seattle, he needs to be vaxxed.
He needs to come correct. Or not at all.
Jazz,
right.
Jazz, you're down there like, get off the field, Aaron.
Right. You need to leave.
You can't play today. I said so.
So that's the way and not the way for the week. Definitely let us know what you think about those topics. I did want to add one more thing because I think we're going to do a poll on our Instagram.
Good, yes. Because
I didn't know whether to put it in the way or not the way for me. So I just thought I was going to leave it open-ended and let the folks decide because I've got a lot of feelings about it. People has named their 2021 Sexiest Man Alive. And it is, drum roll please, Paul Rudd. AntMan.
Like, what?
Where did that come from?
Well,
okay.
This is almost the same feeling that I have when they announced John Legend, where it's just like, okay, I guess. I mean,
like, yeah.
Paul Rudd's conventionally attractive. Like,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Paul Rudd is not ugly, but I can think of 5 other men who are sexier than this man.
Like, here's my question. Who are the nominees? Who's the voting committee?
Right.
What are the requirements to be considered for Sexiest Man Alive?
And that's the thing too, because if we're like, you think sexy, and I'm thinking purely physical. So as far as requirements goes, it has to be purely physical.
Like, do you have to have a movie coming out? Because I guess I found out today he's gonna be in the new Ghostbusters. So I'm like, does that have something to do? Is it a PR thing?
See, that made sense because I swear John Legend had something going on. When he got, he had like some kind of big Christmas special going on or something when he won it.
Usually the Sexiest Man Alive has something going on at the time that they're chosen, or like they're like just the hottest person in every movie that year. But Paul Rudd, I'm trying to figure out where that came from.
Granted, he looks the same today as he did when Clueless came out.
Everyone remembers that.
He was so good. I loved him in Clueless. I was like, it was weird that it was her stepbrother, but I was like, yes, Cher, get your stepbrother.
You feel me?
Do work.
Oh, girl, I just knew that I was all of like 4 years old, and I knew that I felt things for this man. I knew that I felt things for him, and here I am, 28, still. I still like he can still get it.
Stands.
But he's not. But he's not the sexiest man alive. I'm sorry.
The fact that they gave it to Ant-Man before they gave it to Captain America baffles me.
You know.
Like,
have y'all seen Chris Evans naked, shirtless? Because I have, and hello, sexiest man above Paul Rudd for sure.
I'm just saying.
Is Chris Evans funny though?
Yes,
being funny can win sexy though. Well, lines are written for him. I think Paul Rudd is naturally funny.
He is naturally.
So that is gonna boost his little,
It's like his sarcasm. He has like this, like, he's sarcastic kind of humor.
It's kind of dry.
Yeah, and he's kind of like,
he can deliver lines really, like he can deliver funny things with the straightest face, and it's just I love it.
That's why I was torn. I was like, I don't know, like it's kind of the way because I do love Paul Rudd, but
is he on the cover shirtless?
No.
If you put him, you mean to tell me that he is not sexier? That he is sexier than Jason Momoa?
He could work out. Give him a chance. I mean,
but he
could bulk
his
up.
Cover photo, like to follow up Michael B. Jordan with Paul Rudd is just like, great job, D and I. Yep. I love the inclusivity. We're giving everybody a.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, stop. I'm seeing a picture of him shirtless. Paul Rudd shirtless, and he's doing it. He's doing it for me. I think this is from his AntMan days. Oh my
God, it has to be AntMan.
Told you he could bulk up.
I think it's from his AntMan days. But here's the other part that bothers me is that if you look at the cover photo that they put of him, he's very much like it's basic. That's not sexy.
No, he's giving like somebody I want to snuggle up to on a cold day by the fireplace with a hot cocoa. Like he's giving something.
What's the matter?
I love that.
Okay then.
I always love the photos they do because it's always like, ooh, I want to just snuggle up to him. Maybe he is the sexiest man alive. I don't know though. I wouldn't have picked him. I'm always floored by the choices, I think. And I think that's really it. It's kind of like, oh, okay.
I think Jazz just wants to drink the hot chocolate off of him. I mean,
well, definitely.
If you got to really, weigh your options.
I won't dispute that. But we'll definitely let our listeners and our viewers, we're going to post a poll. We'll see what y'all say.
We're also going to throw a questions and ask you guys who you would nominate, and then we're going to decide who is the way sexiest man alive, okay?
We absolutely will, please. Last thing before we get into our break, our girlfriend, our really close friend and all-time superstar, Missy Elliott, Misdemeanor Elliott.
Missy Elliott
finally got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Long overdue, okay? Sis has been in the game for a minute. She has been doing all the good work for the longest time, so it's about dang time. And we're just really excited for her. We're so happy for her. She was there with Sierra. They were over there posing together, taking all kinds of pictures. I felt like it took me a moment to be like, I was like, why are they there together? Like, it took me a second, but they are friends and they've got a couple of hits together in case y'all didn't know.
Yeah. And Sierra's husband's a little busy right now. So, she's got a little bit of time to do something else.
They're friends.
Right? They're buddies.
It took me a minute. I was like, why is she there like that though? Like, I feel like she was just all up in the mix, and it took me a second, but yeah, no. So shouts out to her. We love you, girl. Keep it up. I know you're probably not listening to this. If we tweet it on Twitter, you might see it. We have a better shot there. but yeah. So we just wanted to shout that out for a moment because that's pretty dope, and we love her.
Yes, it is. But before we get into our review of Summer Walker's album, we're going to jump into a 2 to 3 minute break. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Way with Jazz and Tay.
House run. What happened to those good old days when hip hop was so much fun? Oh, house parties in the summer.